first thing that we wanted to talk about is Black Ops 2 on the Xbox One. So, this, I didn't actually know, but there was a vote, and it got over 215,000 votes submitted. I'm not too sure who started the vote, but why Sony hasn't done anything like this, to have like a public vote for a game either to be remastered or made backwards compatibility. But one thing that I did want to mention was, what game would you say in the Call of Duty franchise specifically would you want to see make a comeback? Like Black Ops 2 or whatever.
Well, definitely Black Ops 2, but if I had another choice, I would say Ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yes.
Damn.
I want to see Ghost like 2 or Ghost Remasters or something.
Well, I know.
I don't know why, but it was actually kind of cool, that game.
Well, it's all down to personal preference, really, but I know Ghosts got quite a lot of shit.
I know that.
Probably.
I know they made it for PS4, but I think they should like actually try to remaster it. Maybe, I don't know, make the graphics a bit better, because the graphics are shit in that game.
Yeah, that's true. Probably for me, it'd be either Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1. For me, it was just like a perfect game, perfect scenery and the weapons and all that. It's basically where Call of Duty, besides Ghosts, like, got its most recognition. And it's sort of where also esports sort of, you know, started getting into the wider audience rather than just Ghosts.
Can I change my answer now?
If you want.
I don't want Ghosts anymore.
Actually, I wonder if they're gonna do anything for PS4. Because, like, well, any game for that reason, not just Call of Duty, because obviously there's going to be some games that people's wanting to play on the newer consoles, regardless whether it's remastered or just backwards compatibility. I mean, if you've got a PC, then you're basically set, because you can play whatever game you want, but it would be better if, you know, PS4 done something, because now, say if somebody owns an Xbox and a PS4, then obviously Black Ops 2, highly anticipated game, they're just going to be hooked on that now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Plus, on Amazon, apparently Black Ops 2 on the Xbox 360 is still in the top 20 best-selling video games as well.
It's never going to lead to the top 20.
Yeah, so
I'm surprised it's not even like top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Xbox has tampered with the game, you know, like tuning one or two things to keep up with today's like graphics and all that, but I mean, it's still in the top 20 best-selling Amazon games still. I'd be quite surprised if they just make it compatible and don't do anything with it.
Yeah, I doubt they would. That wouldn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's just backwards compatible. It's not like remastering. Like, maybe like the only thing that they would do would just probably, if they could, just like add different type of game modes. But I doubt they would do anything like that.
Oh yeah, that's like what Modern Warfare done over the weekend. Yeah,
yeah.
Did you hear about that? Where they done the prop hunt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
done
like
it.
April Fool's or whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually made it look like Gary's mods, Gmod as well, where you can rotate and all that. Oh, that was actually pretty good though. I missed out over it because my old Gato's still being stupid, so I can't actually see what I'm playing. But from the stuff that I saw, it looked pretty good. So whether they do mini games on it, that'll actually be quite good as well. Because obviously, eventually it'll start dying on the Xbox One like it did onto the 360. But if they do mini games and like events and keep up with user demands, then I think it should succeed for quite a few months.
I don't remember ever dying on the Xbox 360. That game's still thriving today on there.
Oh, that's true, but what I'm saying is, like, since now you can play on the Xbox One, is that it's it's like Nuketown that comes out every time. Is it Black Ops? It's on
every Black Ops.
Yeah, it comes out every Black Ops, but people, it's like it's hype at first, but a few months, few weeks, whatever down the line, it's like, yeah, it's just Nuketown. So, if they are gonna figure out ways of making it last, then they're better off with mini games or improvements, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think one of the greatest things in Black Ops 2 that they should have brought back for like Black Ops 3 or something was like Sticks and Stones.
Oh yeah,
that
that's
shit was
good.
Cool. Just go around, always fucking knifing everyone or whatever. Get them like a humiliation or whatever.
Yeah, well, another game mode that Modern Warfare Remastered's doing is basically like, what are they called again? Like grenade launchers on the bottom of your gun.
Hmm?
Grenade launchers on the bottom of your gun.
With the noob tube thing?
Yeah. It's like, they're doing a game where it's...
You can only use that.
Yeah. That's like your game.
Too bad I didn't get it. Too bad I'm not wasting my money to just get one game and not play the other one. Because I will not play Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother talking about that. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is the Nintendo, how it discontinued the NES Classic Edition. On various sites, it's saying that it's been up for 6 months on the market, and Nintendo has basically just scrapped everything. A few things, there's 4 main things, but I'm just going to name 2 or 3 of them. One of the main things is that apparently it hasn't been making enough sales to be able to profit off. Because obviously companies need to make good sales to profit off, to put towards new stuff and new technology and trials and everything. And another thing is that I'm pretty sure it comes with only not even a dozen pre-installed games, but people are actually hacking the internals or something like that. I don't know how to do it, of the NES Nintendo console, and putting like hundreds and hundreds of games on it for free.
Well, Nintendo wasn't... The NES wasn't an online thing. How are they hacking it and putting like tons of games on there? But the whole thing was cartridge based.
It's got pre-installed games, so they probably... Well, I'm guessing they probably added some sort of like hard drive styled system onto it, where it recognises it as like obviously a bigger space, so you've got more games on it, and the system just reads that you've got like a shitload of games already pre-installed.
Damn, I should have got an NES.
Well, I don't know how...
I could be playing Street Fighter right now.
But I don't know how they weren't reaching their sales, because there was queues and people placing orders and like pre-orders.
Yeah, but it's just like, that's just nostalgia. Like, that died out quick.
Yeah.
Things what you were saying for like Nuketown there, where it's just hype. It's going for like a couple of weeks and then it drops immediately.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, from what I've read, it's the NES Classic Edition it's being discontinued in North America. So I'm guessing you might be able to order it from somewhere else, sort of like overseas. But with import tax,
China based.
well, it probably will be on the Chinese markets or something like that, or the European markets. But with America putting their import tax up by a lot, and obviously it's going to be in a box, so just like a quick thing, if you have stuff in a package that's not a box, then usually you can get away with import, like paying, like exporting it and all that, whereas if it's in a box, you get charged for it. So on top of the weight of the product, multiplying that it's a box as well, then it's obviously going to cost a considerate more just to purchase the game from overseas, if you live in the States. And that, just reading a bit more, I had 30 NES games pre-installed on the Classic Edition, which just got discontinued, so obviously they're going to be losing a lot of profit, because you could just get that and then install like a lot of games on it and sell it on for like a lot more, so the consumer's actually making more money if it got into the hands of like resellers. I don't know if they've discontinued it just like that, but whether they've got like a set time scale, whether it's like in the next fortnight, like 2 weeks notice thing, but you will be able to purchase it from any other places. And the next part I want to talk about is basically the two main competitors is obviously Microsoft and Sony with the PlayStation and the Xboxes. What do you think, or what do you think that Nintendo can do to actually be able to have a chance of potentially knocking one of those companies off the top of the pyramid?
There's literally nothing they can do.
Is that what you think?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think Nintendo just makes sort of like family friendly type stuff, while Microsoft and Sony make more, like trendy stuff where you can watch, you can surface. I don't know.
Microsoft and Sony, they direct solely to gamers, whereas Nintendo's more of the kids just playing, just so the parents can do whatever they want for like a couple hours. So they have just like a sort of like small bit of entertainment. Whereas PS4 and Xbox One, they're just like, play your heart out, go, stay there for hours. Whereas you got your Nintendo Switch, you play, you beat through Zelda, and you're done. You're just gonna sit on your shelf forever, because it's about the only thing that you get it for. Zelda, Mario, that's about it.
Yes, it's like PlayStation and Xbox is like a gaming machine, whilst as Nintendo's more of like family friendly, family entertainment thing.
It's just like a little toy.
Yeah, well, that's actually one way you could put it. I mean, I know one thing why they were losing sales is because even on like the first day, never mind the first week of the launch, they were getting a lot of returns because the Nintendo Switch was just like,
it was failing. Like the screen kept breaking and shit.
Yeah, and it was like you plugged it in, you were in the middle of a game, and then it would just crash. It wouldn't turn on. You come back to it tomorrow or the next day or whatever, and it would switch on, but then you'd have to restart the whole game because it didn't autosave. So obviously people were getting pissed at that, and they were taking it back, getting the money back for it, or selling it on for more money, because obviously shops were selling out. So
wasn't like the bezel breaking too? Like the entire thing was like, with the screws and shit, it was like cracking?
Yeah. The two clip-on remote things, like you slide them on, sometimes they didn't come on, and sometimes they actually got stuck to the screen, and you had to pry them off.
My friend had that happen to
Mhm.
him.
But it's not just that, it's also consumer feedback on the product and reviews, and obviously YouTube is a big marketplace for reviews, and tech reviews and all that. And obviously, if people are putting in bad words, then no one's going to buy it in the first place. So obviously, that's another way the sales are going to drop. Because I don't think it was purposely the NES Classic Edition. I don't think it was that was making the sales drop. I think it was just Nintendo as a whole with the Nintendo Switch. Just everybody getting returns, getting their money back, bad reviews. But I think they need to do more testing and just see what Xbox is doing and what Sony's doing and how they're making the big bucks every single time.
I wouldn't say, like, try and do what Xbox and PS4 and shit is doing, but I would definitely say put a lot more time into, like, trying to build the consoles and shit. Like, actually try to figure out what you want to do. Make sure that once you build it, that it's going to work, and it doesn't crash the second you plug it in, or, like, the screen breaks or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
And when doing it, make sure that you have a lot more games that start Nintendo. Rather than just, like, 4 or 3, like, big major games that everyone's gonna buy it for. And then that's it.
Well, yeah, it's like, when the two new consoles came out, the PS4 and the Xbox One, there's already, like, 6 games ready to be played for it. Well, it says, on the Nintendo Switch, there was 1 for, like, a week or 2, and it was like, well... That was more of just that game was more of just like what the Nintendo Switch was capable of, and it wasn't really a game.
They don't have any actual big name titles for them. That's the problem. Whereas, like, when the PS4 launched, they had what was it, Killzone? They had Ghost still going on for it. They had GTA starting to get the remaster, Last of Us remastered. They had a whole bunch of games, same as Xbox. They had Lara Croft, they had Gears of War, they had Forza and all that. Nintendo had, like, nothing.
Yeah.
So you can see where that's going, right? Like, more games equals more customers. If you only have one game, you're not gonna go very far.
Yeah, it's like, it wasn't a wide variety because you can't just make one game to suit everybody. You've got to have multiple games because people have different opinions about games and styles of games and genres of games, whether it's horror, action, family friendly, like Nintendo keeps doing. You can't just bring out one game and then just a week or 2 down the line bring out another one game. You've got to have some games prepared for it before release.